You know what? I've always told you that I believe that this is the perfect family car for me, right? And when I encountered and experienced this, I was really kind of surprised. And to be honest, I'll admit I was a bit disappointed. As much as I don't want to talk about this, as much as I don't want to touch on this area, because really it's a sad reality for this car. Do you love to express yourself through the things that you're very passionate about and feeling really comfortable while you're at it? Get any of our premium quality shirts today, now available in our official store, Chivalry Clothing. That's Chivalry Clothing on lazada.com.ph. Order now and don't delay on representing yourself with style. So what's up, gentlemen and ladies? Welcome to another episode of Project Gentlemen, where here we love to talk about the things that help us win in life. And for today's video, guys, I'm so excited to talk about the things that I've learned or discovered about this car that I thought maybe could be a big deal to other people and would make you consider really if you really want the Toyota Veloz. And for those of you who have watched our previous videos, you know that I have nothing but high praises, great compliments. I was really, expressing how satisfied and how happy I am with this amazing car. Now, one of the greatest realities in life is that nothing really is perfect in this world. You can't have it all, unfortunately. And no matter how great anything or anybody is, there are always some things that we can say could be a weakness or disadvantage, and you need to accept that. So this time, I'll be brutally honest. I'll be sharing with you some of the things that I personally didn't appreciate or didn't like about this car. I'll be answering again some of the questions, issues, concerns that you guys have raised on the comment section of our previous videos. And then I'll be pointing out some of the major issues or reasons why I think or I believe that people won't want to buy a Toyota Veloz. So without further ado, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here we go. Okay, so right now, let's start with the things that I believe people have been saying on the comment section and what most people say about this car. And I believe those are legit factors. Those are things really to consider. You need to listen to advices and what they say about this car. And then after that, I'm gonna share my personal experiences as well, like I said a while ago. So of course, let's start with what they are always trying to say. The Toyota Veloz has a low ground clearance. For a lot of people, ground clearance is a big deal. If you are one of those people who live in places that has high humps, a lot of potholes, flood prone areas, then you need to consider some other options. We have comparison playlist here on the channel, and I believe some of our comparisons or our videos can really help you choose with your car buying decision. But personally, on my experience, honestly, I haven't experienced any problem like, going through humps. I didn't experience any sabit or sayad so far. If there's one thing that I could warn you about or give you a heads up about, there's some kind of a plastic material on the front chin of the Toyota Veloz that could possibly cause some problems on going through high humps. That could possibly be a problem, especially with angled surfaces. But for me, honestly guys, so far I've been waiting or expecting that kind of problem. So far I haven't experienced that problem yet going through really tough or high humps here in our place. The second thing that you might not like about the Toyota Veloz is what they always say, it is underpowered. With its 1.5 liter engine, which is mated at CVT, a lot of people who might not have yet tried driving this car, or I don't know, maybe that's just on their experience or with other 1.5 liter engines. But for me guys, so far, this is more than enough. The power really is more than enough for overtaking, for taking on uphill roads, and especially it has a power driving mode. Like I said, there are 3 driving modes with this one: eco mode, normal mode, and the power mode. To be honest with you, the normal mode actually is more than enough. I usually have it on eco mode, but if I need a little bit more power, I just turn off the eco mode. Just on the normal driving mode, I'm more than capable of overtaking and going through uphill roads like I mentioned. And real talk, I believe we won't be competing or having or engaging race in our roads, right? So I believe there's no need really for bigger engine displacement, because I believe greatly that it's really more about the skill of the driver. For a car like this with a 1.5 engine, really I can say guys, honestly, it's more than enough. Just kindly watch our Toyota Veloz road trip where we enjoyed really this car going through different places. So another thing that people have been complaining about the Toyota Veloz is that it doesn't have a cruise control feature. If you're someone who's always going through expressways or long rides, you have safe clearance to go at a minimum or a maintaining speed, then I suggest you might want to consider other options out there. But if you're someone like me who is always just going around the city and then just occasional long rides, vacations, then I believe that Toyota Veloz will be good enough for you. Because for me, I can honestly say that I don't need the cruise control feature so far. Another thing that one of you guys mentioned is the aircon flow, or the vent of the aircon, or the direction of the air conditioning system of the Veloz. I'm not sure with the other variants of, other countries, but for us here in the Philippines, there is no multi-directional flow for the aircon system. It's just, one directional lang talaga, and then you get to have just for your body. There's no flow for your feet or the other directions that you normally have with other cars. There are people who really prefer multi-directional air conditioning system, but for me, still, it isn't very much of a big deal. Now, this one is really a very minor thing, but the Toyota Veloz doesn't have DRLs, or daytime running lights. Other options, other family cars out there have it, but for me, like I mentioned on the Toyota Veloz features video, I found a workaround about that. If ever I wanted that feeling of the DRL, just I turn on the secondary light or the dim light, and it looks good enough for me. It looks very maangas, and yeah, that's just basically it. Just doing that solves the problem for me. Yes, having that feature, the DRLs, it could be an added security feature. It helps you being seen during daytime, but honestly, on our country here so far, it hasn't been widely adopted yet, unlike motorcycles. So yeah, I guess it's safe to say that for me, I don't need that feature yet, and I'm satisfied with that workaround that I talked to you about. So now for this one, guys, I really believe that this has some kind of point. As much as I don't want to talk about this, or as much as I don't want to touch on this area, because really, it's a sad reality for this car. I believe that I owe it to you guys for you to be informed about this. Unfortunately, the Toyota Veloz really, I believe, has thin materials used for the frame or the body. I believe it is prone really to dents, and I also think that if something happens to any part of this car, especially the roof and the hood, it is a possibility that there are cats or maybe some kind of animals that could land, or any object that could land, and with the side as well, just in case it gets bumped. I believe that it will really produce easily those dents and some kind of deformation. Now, that is a sad reality, but for me, I'm doing my best to drive carefully, not bump my car or avoid those circumstances. Now, the good thing as well, thankfully for our area, we don't have pets, and we don't have cats at home. Thankfully, our parking has a roof, so that maybe that could also help. And I believe there are no particular areas where a cat can walk and then jump over the car. So yeah, if that's your situation, then I think really that you need to think about it. And because of this weakness or disadvantage of the Toyota Veloz, I believe that it causes really the bad sound when you close the doors. So there you go, as you can hear, or as you can see. So hopefully I was able to give to you an idea about how it sounds. Basically, that really was a shock for me and my wife the first time we brought it home. There were instances that we closed the door too hard, and yeah, honestly, it was really shocking. But after a few days, just maybe the next day, we were able to adjust right away. And I know that there are really people who has this as a very big deal breaker for them, the sound of the doors. For me, fortunately, and my wife, that's not much of a big deal for us. We're just really happy with the functionality of this car. And then lastly, I want to address this as well, that the Toyota Veloz, the biggest strength of this car is really the tech inside this car. That could really be a weakness for a lot of people, because as we know, with great power comes great responsibility. Or just basically in the same sense, the more you enjoy things in life, the more the price that you pay with it, right? So yeah, that's a given that you're buying this car for the reputation that it has for in terms of the looks, and absolutely you're buying this car as well for the high-tech features of this car. It means that when you choose this car, you're someone who really wants to enjoy a little bit more in life, and you're willing to pay for it. And not everyone has that mindset. Now let's shift gears a little bit. I wanted to talk naman what I personally don't like. So let me just turn on the LED dome lights. So yeah, going back, what I personally don't like, halogen fog lamps is really something that I don't like. But yeah, that's something that I really wish could have been LEDs. But yeah, I can't do anything about it. Maybe just install LED fog lamps in the future. Next is no vanity mirrors here in the front or in the driver's side. No sunglasses holder. These things again are minor things that I wish could have been there, but like I said, I really love this car. These are just really minor nitpicks or issues for me. Next is the orientation of the infotainment system, and as well as the steering wheel controls. Because of the Toyota Veloz being, designed from other countries, right-hand drive, it's leaning to that orientation as well. So if you can notice, the controls for your infotainment system, it's really on the right-hand side, which makes it really harder to reach or to access. Then as well for the steering wheel, what I don't like a little bit is that the audio controls here on the Toyota Veloz in the Philippines is on the right hand, which I am really used to the one on the Toyota Vios, where the audio controls, the skip, the forward and the backward playing of songs, it's on the left hand side and very easy to control. While driving, I'm used to driving more on the left hand. It just makes sense that if you don't want a song, you can just use your left hand or your left finger to skip or return to a song. And to continue with that, that also makes sense that the power mode control is also placed on the right hand side. Activating the drive modes of the Toyota Veloz, power and eco modes, could have really been easily accessible or controllable if they were placed on the left hand steering wheel control. And another thing about this orientation is your USB ports are unfortunately on the right hand side or on the passenger side as well. I believe that Toyota didn't have time to rearrange or to change the orientations of these particular things. That's something that I really wish could have been changed. But does it affect my life? Does it destroy my driving experience? Absolutely not. Still, I'm able to do the normal things that I would. Now at this juncture, I wanted to share something that I thought I wouldn't like. You know what? I've always told you that I believe that this is the perfect family car for me, right? And when I encountered and experienced this, I was really kind of surprised. And to be honest, I'll admit I was a bit disappointed. Why? Because I've always loved the Apple CarPlay, right? So I love to access the infotainment system, enjoying the benefits of the features. As you ride or as you use the car, you answer calls, right? You take calls from your loved ones. Eventually, I can notice that most of the people that call me or, that I contact with, I have been receiving complaints about them not being able to hear what I'm saying clearly. And you know what? Upon research, I just discovered that I finally found out the reason for that. That is why if you're someone who also owns a Toyota Veloz and encountering or experiencing this problem, I'm glad to share with you the possible solution for this, and I'm gonna show it to you guys right now. Okay, so what I learned, guys, is that you're gonna have to remove this plastic covering on the screen. Okay, so you're gonna be joining me today. I would really love to preserve things here on the car. As you can see, I wanted to keep coverings and wraps on this car, but unfortunately, this is the purpose as well for the infotainment system. You need to use the microphone so that you'll be able to enjoy your calls with your loved ones or with your business, right? So you're gonna be joining me today for a very momentous event, a very historic event for me and my car. This is something that is really satisfying. Okay. Okay. Right, there you go. So I'm hoping that I can have better quality calls starting today. Call Rich. Hey babe.
Hi Dad.
How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also doing good. So I wanted to try out something, and I wanted to know if you can hear me well right now. You can hear me better?
This is great, finally.
So yeah, actually our viewers are actually watching right now. Do you want to say hi to them?
Hello guys. How is everyone? Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate all of you.
So another issue, guys, that has been a bit of a bummer about this car is about its wireless charging feature. So right now, I'm gonna show you, I'm having actually a bit of problem with charging in an iPhone 15 Pro Max, but let's try as well charging it with an iPhone 11, a smaller iPhone 11, and then let's try to see if it really has a problem, okay? So as you can see, there's a case that is put on this one. So let's try to turn on the wireless charging. Okay. All right. So at first it's blinking, and then after a few seconds it recognizes it and charges well. Actually, I'm surprised that it is actually working for the iPhone 11. So it's actually working. I'm kind of surprised. I just tried this out today and I found out that maybe smaller phones like this one is charging well. So right now, let's try to charge a bigger one, okay? So right now, this is a much larger phone, an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and let's try to see if it's still working even though a case is actually put on. But yeah, there you go. It's kind of blinking. It wasn't the same with one with the iPhone 11, which was a consistent light, you know, blinking, and it's actually inconsistent. Okay, so here we go. We actually removed the case now, and yeah, let's try to see if it's still gonna be malfunctioning. All right, so far so good. It's actually charging, and let's wait a little bit. There you go. It's now blinking once again, and it has stopped charging. So maybe it's really a problem. It's really having a problem actually with bigger phones. That is why it has been a bit of a challenge for me, especially if your main daily driver for your phone is bigger phones like this one. But what I've done is that actually I just have this power adapter right here and some cords. This one is for an Apple Watch, you know, charging it on the go. And this one is a Type-C connector. So what I do is just, I have it here, and it's just, you know, right here when I need it, and I can close it. Thankfully, I can do that, and then just plug in this one just in case I really need it. So yeah, that's it. I hope that this can help you guys.
All right, there you go. So the things that we discussed today is a combination of the issues that I personally encountered and the things that people have been saying about this car. So despite all of the things that I mentioned today with regards to this car, still it doesn't change the fact that I'm still really happy about this car, and still, even all of those things, you know, the disadvantages and the cons, I believe that the Toyota Veloz is still the perfect family car out there with the combinations of the functionality and the features and the looks. Check out our Toyota Veloz playlist right here so that you can also see what makes this car really worth it if you haven't yet, or you can check out all our other videos which can really help you decide as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Consider to like, to subscribe, and to share this to your loved ones and friends if this video has helped you. This has been Ronnie with Project Gentleman, reminding you that when we put God first, when we seek Him first, make Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior today, all of the things, all the wisdom, all the path and the decisions in life will be added unto us. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Ciao.